Well, we're back in the Cevennes, and I've come to this spot way up above the castle here, the ruins, and I want to try and capture the light as it comes down across this castle. So I got here fairly early in the morning. I was hoping there'd be a bit more golden light, but not so. But hopefully by the time I get set up, hopefully, the light will just be starting to come across this lot. Let's see what happens. So I want a scene here, something like this. This square. I've got a nice little square canvas. It's a fairly chilly morning. Now I've got to work out my composition first. So let's get back from the canvas a bit and just use my fingers like this to see. We're working on a very quick composition here. We've got the sky, we've got the mountain coming down here at the side, coming to the valley, falling down here and through, hitting the rock here, bouncing back through onto here, and these are the bushes and trees here. A tree coming in from the left here with the light. The chateau, the castle, just down in here. A bit too big, just down there to give some scale, and then these various trees coming back up here in layers, and there's a little house, it's a village up here and a little house and stuff here I want to just paint in, just bring them into here. Might just get them in there, I don't know, I'm not sure about the house because it pulls off the composition a bit, but I certainly have this village up here. So I'm waiting for the light to come across and cascade down here. It's just hitting over here at the moment, starting the sky straight away. And what I want to get here is this business of foreground, middle distance, and warm, cooler. One of my friends in North America here, he paints lovely landscapes, but he keeps forgetting that the greens aren't the same here as they are here. That by atmosphere, to give distance, we have to have cooler greens of the colour hues in the background and the warmer in the foreground. Let's see if we can do that. And I'm going to have light shining across, so I'm going to be putting in layers of background colour first and then working up the lighter colours over the top. So darker colours and mid-tones first, working up these colours over the top, the lighter light, as it shimmers across the top of these trees here, catching tops of trees. That's my idea anyway, let's see how it works. I'm going to start with a medium-sized filbert brush for this. It's not a very big painting, so I should be able to handle this. I should, to see, famous last words, be able to handle this fairly quickly. Let's get the brush going first. It hasn't been used for a while, so I'll have to just get a bit of hammer on my hand to get it going softer, because I do need nice soft but solid brushes for this. Yes, I've still got a little bit of green paint from the last time it was used, and the water wasn't quite clean, but we'll be alright. So, what are we going to have here? I want a sort of fairly golden light coming over here. Although it's fairly cool in the background there. I'm going to start with yellow ochre and white, and the cream here. Let's have a little bit of yellow ochre into that. We'll have again, a fairly impressionist piece, I guess, because of the speed I'm going to be painting, if anything else, and all the little light colours amongst that, the pinks and so on. Now, coming into there then, to keep it warm, I'm going to go for very light pink coming in there. You notice that I'm using fairly strong colour straight away, because I want to be able to pick up the sunlight on this. So yellow ochre, now a mixture of violet and a little bit of magenta. And I need that to dry down a bit before I can really work the next colours up and in. Just laid on delicately and freshly. I don't want brush marks really showing too much. I want the colours to blend one into another. Okay, up now into a gentle cerulean and white. Quite light, very light sky. So cerulean, not going for turquoise this time yet. Cerulean white, this lovely pink glow happening through it, right through to here. Plenty of it, fairly solid paint. Nice quick study, I hope. Let's see what we can do on this size canvas today. A little bit stronger up here. Crisscross brush strokes to blend these colours in here, right up into the sky. Crisscross brush strokes at first just to blend in, and then I'm going to work the blue down into these colours and some of these colours back up into the blue like this, to get the feeling of the wispy sky here this morning, as you can see by the original shot. So now let's start bringing some of this blue down in, and we'll try and catch this morning light with these little strokes of paint, bringing one colour into another. We don't want the same palette every time, we don't want the same colours every time. Even though they're, people see my palette, they say, oh, you've got all those colours you can use, you can't go wrong, they've already got them mixed. Not the case, I'm not using all of those colours all the time, they're there in case I want to use them, and that's all. Now a little bit of that very light cream, and we'll just whisper in some of these clouds coming over here, delicately through here. Perhaps a little bit more cream into this, a touch of white and leaves going in my palette now, touch of white and lemon yellow, just to give that much lighter cream that's just coming through here this morning. There we go. You see how different that is, because it's a much cooler cream to the original. Make a bit more of that, it really works. Your lemon yellow and a little touch of white, just to feel these lovely light clouds coming through in this morning sunrise. Well, I suppose sunrise is normally in the morning, isn't it? Could it be a sunset otherwise? Duh. Right, that one through there. These little lines of clouds coming down through beautifully through here. It's only a small painting, so I can afford to be quite delicate with it and find the colours. Lovely sunrise then, here we go. There we go, we've got a nice delicate sky there. Playing the warmer yellows against the cool yellows and these delicate pinks. Now, let's have a look at the background here. Again, I'm going to want to do these background mid-tones first of all. So let me, I'm talking this one through with you fully. Same brush, a little 1/2 inch filbert. I want to get this colour going here, and it's quite sort of mauvey blue. So let me take a nice mauvey blue and really get that distance going straight away there. I'm going to use this mauve, which is a violet or purple. I'm going to put more blue into it in a minute to get some darks. This is just the first mid-tone to get the real feeling of distance. Let's go for this lovely distance here, right up and through here, before we start to really get some darker tones into it. Now it wants to be bluer, so I'm going to take a bit of ultramarine now and just start to find these distant. You see how lovely that is already? We're getting the feeling of the distance with these different colour hues of the blues and purples straight away, without even getting to the greens going into there yet. Right down to here, right down there. It's much lighter than you might think. People go straight for the two darker colours, and we want to really get the feeling of these as it comes down here and up to here. Then as it comes towards us gradually it starts to get a little bit stronger. So I'm going to add some Prussian to that. And you look how different the Prussian is here, look. That's going to start giving me some of these lovely shadows going into here. And I can texture, I can feel these trees in the distance with the tip of the brush. So all the time I'm making marks about what I'm painting here. All the time my brush is feeling the surface of those things in the distance. Through my eyes, down through my brain, what there is of it, back down my arm to the tips of my fingers and down through the brush. We feel these lovely textures and tones and colours right down into this, and then that's coming down to the valley here where it's going to be stronger still in a moment. Let's just keep that purple going for the minute, a little bit stronger perhaps now as it comes down into the valley. Down to here we've got a lovely shadow there. It's still fairly purple blue. Right down there. This is just for the background colour. I'm going to put lighter over the top, but we're just going to get the shadows going first of all here. So I can put those lights over the top there. A little bit of a building there. There's a bit of a building here. Well, just remember that they're there. I can just see them through my drawing, through the thin layers of paint, because it's fairly thin paint I'm using at the moment. Right, I'm going to put a touch of green into this same colour now. Let's go a little bit greener into it as it comes up here. And you feel these distant, beautiful, beautiful colours. Little brush strokes all the way down through, right down into here where it gets much stronger in a minute. Let's bring these greens through. Lovely tint of green coming into the purples here now, right up and through here and down. Lovely. Look for colour, really look for this colour and enjoy it. That's what I feel this morning anyway. No, I'm not here for long, and this is my last day here now. And we've painted the sea, we've painted rivers, we've painted interiors, we've painted harbours, and now I've come back to painting this valley. I want to go a bit stronger there, so I'm going to take a stronger purple with that little bit of blue, green, and let's go a bit darker, just a bit more blue, a bit more ultramarine into that, a little bit bluer down here, coming up through in the shadows, dark behind there, and then darker still as we come down here. All these layers of the various darks back here before I put the lighter colours over the top. Down through here, and then this very dark colour here, beautiful rich deep purple green, I think. Take some emerald, deep emerald with that, and we'll really whack that in there. Again, I don't want it too strong and too close, but I'll just feel it up the edge of those trees into the sky here. A bit bluer yet, right up here, dark against that sky. Little bits of the paint in the background mixing in, dark down here. And the light's going to be changing quickly on me, so I've really got to work fast here if I'm going to pick up on all of these beautiful colours. And get that lovely warmth of the warmer green coming into the shadow here. And you can see now I'm pushing these stronger, warmer colours against these cooler background ones deliberately to start to feel distance. So you'll hopefully see the whole painting produced this time, and me discussing through it. I can't film the canvas as well. I haven't got two cameras going, and I really haven't got time to do that much detail. If I'm going to paint at this speed, it's more a matter of you sharing. Although it's still a lesson, it's still a matter of you sharing more than my being able to say, right, mix this colour, mix this colour, mix this colour. I'm still using some emerald, deep emerald, and deep purple, and some Prussian at the moment, to get these various greens in the background here. Putting more ultramarine in at the minute, just to get the feel of this lovely mauve blue coming down here. Before I bring the lighter colours over the top, because this is drying here, so I'll be able to bring these light colours over the top in just a moment. Now I've got a lovely tree coming through here. I want to pick up on a bit more purple happening down these warms here. As it comes down to the castle there. And the light coming through here of these trees. A little bit lighter blue. I'm going to take a bit of cerulean here and just work some of that cool cerulean into the shadows of these this tree coming in at the side here before I put the warms onto it. The feeling of the light coming through. A bit more cerulean there again. Just mixing in with these colours, slightly muddy, but just to feel the light. Foreground, middle distance, we're working up here. When I'm on that cool, I'm going to use it on the castle down here, because it's cool into the distance here at the minute. Put a bit more warmth in that later with a smaller brush. Let me just get this done first. Now the light's already coming across here, which is lovely, but I've got to get in these darks as quickly as I can. I've got a lovely slab of rock here. I'm going to put the cools and the warms into here, and the slab of rock is coming through here. Although this is a very cool being a cerulean, I want to just feel the shadows on it. So let me whack that in, slab it on quick. I'll put warmer still in just a moment. Add a little bit now of burnt sienna to that colour, and let's really pull these warmer darks forward here. You see how that jumps forward of this because it's so much warmer. Just going to blend those back a bit. Come in with a warmer green in just a minute too. Just find these warm colours of the pebbles and stones here. There's much more texture just here. See what I can do with that. Here's some of that deep purple and a bit of Prussian to find my darks. I'll bring some warms across there in a minute, but I'm not doing my warms yet. I'm still getting all of these lovely cools done. And let's go back to here again. We've now got to get in the distance down here. You see, I've been so strong with the colours here, and so much lighter back there. Get the idea of it. And I haven't put the lights into the trees at all yet. I'm just feeling my way with this. Going on through here now, as the sunlight hits this bit of rock here, we've got some lovely strong moss greens happening across the bit of rock here. Okay, that's got our base done. Now we start to paint with light. Now we have the pleasure, we start to paint with light. Let's go back to the background, which is just tacky now, just nice. That's what some people said about me, but tacky and nice. Now, same brush, don't need to change brushes. Let's work at these very distant. I'm going to take a bit of turquoise and a touch of green into that, light green. And I just want to feel this background. I want to tickle the tops of the trees with this very light yellow-green coming across here as the sun catches across the tops of the trees like this, leaving the dark areas. We get this lovely light, little lemon yellow amongst that. I've lost where I painted it now. There we are. A little more light into that. Very light back here. Coming down against the dark of this. And we'll let that lovely purple glow through. This is what I'm trying to say to my friends, the students. Let that colour, one on top of the other, play the warm against the dark, the light against the warm against the cool, the light against the dark, and so on. Let's just get a bit more paint on my brush. A bit more lemon yellow on there. A bit warm. Don't want warmth yet, don't too much anyway. A lot of light coming through here. Painting that sun as it comes through there. Coming across the tops of these trees. You see I'm getting warmer as I bring this forward. As I bring this colour down here, I'm making the yellow gradually warmer. I don't want to lift the paint underneath. Now more yellow, so gradually will add more and more yellow to this. Warmer colours as I come down here, especially down here where it's quite warm. Tip of the brush, just. This is why a filbert's useful for this, because I can use the filbert just to tickle in these beautiful colours over here. Not too much water, but not too little, because too much and I'm going to lift the paint off underneath, and too little and it's not even going to put paint on. Right up through, catching the light across tops of the trees. I'm using the brush to try and get the effect of the tops of these trees, pine trees and deciduous oranges and little bits of pink coming down through here. Bit more orange into there now. To get these warms happening down. And see how that lifts it forward. This is going to bring the painting forward here. Under the castle here. The castle we're going to bring out in just a minute, because the light's now catching it more as it comes down across it, as I expected and as I was planning. And we can start to really enjoy. Now, much lighter, stronger colours, lighter greens happening down here, so really catching the light here. Bits of light on there that are catching in the foreground. Comes around more and more. We've got the light against the dark here. It's very important. These light trees that are coming down. There's a bit of pink in some of them. And we've got warmer colour, so I'm going to take a little bit of the sienna there. Very, very light. I just want to bring some warmth into the trees down here a bit more now. Well on the way on this painting. Now, I need to come in with more detail, so I'm take a smaller brush. It's taken me what, about an hour so far, if that. Now let's come back down to here where we need some very, very light colours on the leaves. Just catching the edge of the leaves here. Warm pinks coming in. Just use a small brush to try and get the feeling of the branches. Because I want more detail here, and it gets more out of focus as it goes into the distance. So I'm deliberately putting detail down here to lead the eye in. We've almost done this painting. I need to move on because I've got other works I need to do today to finish them off from last time. And there we go. I think we're about done on this painting and need to move on to the next. And what do you think? You see what, hopefully you see what I'm getting at now. You can see we can get these effects of light and dark and recession of warm to cool. It's still go warmer in these trees here yet, I think, you know. Well, I think that'll do for that one. I don't do much more on it because I'm going to be titivating too much and not actually making it any better. So here's what we have. View. A quick study then of the little chateau as the light comes up and across, timing it right hopefully, and looking at how we can make things go from warmer to gradually cooler in the background, how we can paint the mid-tones on and then put the lighter colours cascading across them and make a quite rapid little impressionist piece of this morning sunrise. Hope you've enjoyed that. Well, with the friend's advice, I've been working on this one, and I think I've got it finished now. I wanted to work a bit more on the rock work here, just get these colours coming through a little bit more strongly into the foreground, and the bits of light coming across. At the risk of offending me, she very kindly expressed her views about this area here, which quite correctly did look a bit like a pool of water originally. I've come back and just tried to put it together as a rock surface now, and I think we've got that. So we'll call that one done, and just finish off with the varnish on that. And the areas that have been done again. You can see those by the mat that's on them. And we'll work on to the next one, because it's all very well working at speed on these plein air works, but sometimes you need to just come back and look at them a bit longer afterwards. Luckily I take photographs to help me as well, and maybe just pull them together a little bit more at the end, as these require. Even now I feel just a little bit more pink into here may help this background. Pull against the warms, playing constantly this warm against cool and light against dark, and it's a little bit too vertical, that cliff out there. Needs a little bit more.